Hello everyone, it's Nancy at Paper Moon Tarot, and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before, and thanks for coming back if you have. This is a review of the Kickstarter deck, the Rainshadow Tarot by Mack, and this is the box. You may know Mack from some of her Oracle decks. This is the Illuminated, whoop, upside down, the Illuminated Earth Oracle. She also has one that's more garden oriented, and I have that too, but it's upstairs, so I can't tell you the exact name. But her decks are stunning. She's an incredible artist, and this is the Oracle, the Illuminated Earth Oracle. Just really incredible combination of original art and photography, and it's a collage work, but it is pretty amazing stuff. And a lot of sort of textured paper backgrounds and just really layered mixed media work. And I'm sorry, it's not focusing. There we go. But I have admired her Oracle decks for many years, several years, and she has just come out with her first tarot. So this is the Rainshadow Tarot, and it is on beautiful matte stock that she's used in her oracles. Just wonderful, solid, beautiful, soft, not rose petally, but just a beautiful matte cardstock. There's the backs. The box is, as you see it, a thumb pull type box. I'm sorry, I'm not doing the box justice here, but it is a very nice sturdy box. I'm not sure, the Kickstarter just fulfilled, and I'm not sure whether she'll be offering this beyond the Kickstarter, so I apologize if she isn't, because it's really a deck that I think is actually one of the loveliest tarot decks I own, or that I've seen. Now, the book is a little white book. It does have black and white images, which actually I think are upside down. I think are actually kind of cool. The colored ones are incredible, but the black and white also is interesting. Short explanations of cards, but very useful because this is not your typical RWS deck. It is somewhat abstract. The art is beautiful, I think, and the colors, the color palette, incredible, but you won't necessarily see like the dogs and the crustacean in the moon card kind of thing. It's not full of those symbols. So I think to some extent it's a little more intuitive deck. In some ways, as you'll see in the minors, it's a little pippish. It's not a pip deck by any means, but there are some pippish cards that are really, as I say, more to be read intuitively as far as I'm concerned. But I just think this is breathtaking art. This is the order the deck came in, so always starting with the Ace of Wands. There is a border around the majors and the aces, and I'm trying to remember, perhaps the court cards, but the minors are entirely borderless. Anyway, the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. You will find, if you don't see what you consider traditional symbolism, or you're not really sure of how the image goes with your interpretation, the guidebook does give some interesting hints about the intent of the artist, which I like a lot. I would say this is not a beginner's deck. You really need to know your tarot. Luckily, very clear titles, which I always like. easy to read. This, I believe I was reading the meaning of this, where you think of the Six of Wands as success. She talks in the guidebook about sort of breaking open a seed and revealing things. In fact, let me just find that one as an example of how the book helps you with the cards. Six of Wands, attainment, hope, victory. You've cracked the seed and diffused the conflict that preceded this new period of potential. An abundance of gifts is available to you now. Know that the successes you've achieved are due not only to your efforts, but the hard work of others as well. Take credit for your part and nod thanks to those who've supported you along the way. So we don't have the typical person on a horse with a laurel wreath, but we do have this seed cracking open, celebrating your successes and so on. So it's there, it's just a different approach. I think the cards are beautiful. The colors. Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. The use of the various mixed media she has and the collage work, I think, is first rate. I compare it in my mind to some of the collage decks out there, and they are clumsy in comparison to me. Now, I don't know what your cup of tea is in terms of art on cards, but for me, this is a very classy, beautiful deck. Everything is traditional in terms of the naming of things, as I recall. So yeah, the court cards are not bordered, just the aces and the majors. So if you're into this, what I consider beautiful artwork and a somewhat intuitive read, if you know your tarot, I think this is a stunning deck. If you don't know tarot, it's not going to give you as much to draw on in terms of traditional symbology. Two of Cups. She seems very into, in all her decks, crystals, earth, natural things, natural elements, which is part of what makes her art so beautiful. And this is one that sort of goes back to my comment that there are some cards that are kind of pippish. You can interpret this any way you like, but it's essentially six cups. But then other minors have some other imagery on them. And this is kind of what I meant, that you've got this person sort of hunkered down here with the cups flying everywhere. We're used to someone walking away from the scene, not sort of hiding in a corner. But everything's kind of coming down on this person. So one could assume their next step is to fly away like the butterfly. So there's all kinds of ways of taking the art and interpreting it, which is kind of fun, I think. Part of the fun of getting different tarot decks. Queen of Cups. And again, you've got all these crystals kind of raining down on her. Very much into crystals and earth and natural things. And the color scheme she has reflects that, I think. Pentacles. Oh. In some ways, this deck reminds me a little bit of Dust to Onyx. Very different in the subject matter, the imagery, but the real feeling that this is artwork, which that deck totally is, and this deck is too. It's a beautiful card. I like on the Eight of Pentacles, the person standing on top of the mountain as if they're reaching the pinnacle of their craft. And that these kind of look like snowflakes. And when you think of individual art creations, snowflakes are totally original, totally individual, and beautiful. So I kind of like that with the Eight of Pentacles. The Nine. And the 10. Again, all the crystals coming around this kind of perfect creation. Page of Pentacles. Start to move a little faster so we can get through this. I love that card, the colors on it, beautiful. Okay, we're on to Swords. There's the Ace. Two of Swords. I kind of look closely at this and I see a little face in there, as if that's the person with the two swords trying to make the choices. Three of Swords, thank God, no anatomical heart. Four of Swords. Thinking I have two, but I don't. It's nice thick cardstock. It's beautiful purples. The colors are stunning. So I should explain this is the Rainshadow Tarot, and I actually live in the same town as the creator of this deck. We are in a part of Washington State, which you think of around the Seattle area as being very rainy, but in the part of the state that I'm in and the creator is in, you have an effect called the rain shadow, and that means that the water that comes, the precipitation that comes from the direction of the Pacific Ocean comes over the mountains and drops a lot of the rain and the moisture in the mountains, so that if you're in the rain shadow, then you don't get much rain. So Seattle, I think, gets 57 inches a year, and we get like 18. So that's what a rain shadow is that effect of being just near the mountains, where a lot of the rainy stuff in your area just is gone by the time it gets to you. So we're now into the majors. I love this Empress. Just, it's such a beautiful piece of art. Has the water and yeah, the Emperor. Hierophant, I think I read this one in the book, and it talks about the flame of tradition in here. So it's well worth referring to the book for her ideas for how the art reflects the meaning. Lovers, beautiful. I like this strength card. It's as if the human inside is what the bear needs to control. Nature has to control us, or we're in big trouble. The Hermit, almost Six of Swords like, but he's not going away in a boat. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Kind of funny with those little blue striped sweaters and blue hair. The Hanged Man. Death is pretty cool. Temperance. Tower. That's the other thing about the area I and the creator live in, is that it's on the rim of fire in the Pacific Ocean, next to the Pacific Ocean, or near. And, you know, Mount St. Helens, various volcanoes, not too far away, within a few hours. I'm not saying that's her inspiration, but I'm just picking out some things. The Moon. I love this sun card. I think it's a beautiful sun card. These last two do not want to separate. There we go. Judgment. And the World. So I think this is an absolutely stunning deck by Claire Mack, the Rainshadow Tarot. And I will put whatever link I can, like to the Kickstarter and her website, in the description below, so that you can try and track down whether additional decks are available. And thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the deck. Take care. Bye.